Hello. Welcome back to our Pro E-Academy's properties channels. I think quite some time I didn't share this in English. Today I'm going to share it in English versions. So what we're going to talk about today will be the 10 simple steps to rent out your house easily. Okay, before I start, I just hope that those who are online, please help me to share out our video channels so that today's more people can come in and learn about this topic. Okay, so while we're waiting, so let me share the link out to people as well. Okay. So let me share my screen. Okay. Okay, so if you're able to see my screens, maybe you can type a 1. Okay, so today we're going to talk about these topics, 10 simple steps to rent out your house easily. So first, let me ask one question. How many houses a person might bought in their lifetimes? What do you guess? How many do you guess? Maybe 1, 2, or 3. So for my past experience, I can see most of the people they will bought about 3 to 4. If your financial status are all right, I think that is the numbers of how at least our average they will bought it. Okay, why I'm saying that is I think normally the first house they bought is for own stays. So not that big, maybe just enough for 2 person or 1 person. So after a couple of years, when they have families, they have kids and things like that, they start to looking for bigger units. So that times they go either buying a bigger units whereby the previous house either they sold it out or they rent it out. Okay, so after that, first couple maybe another 10 years when their kids grow up and things like that, so they're buying another house actually for their retirement. So eventually it's about 3 to 4 units for the lifetimes. So this is house I think I don't know how many houses they will buy, but average persons with if financial status are okay, so they will buy about 3 to 4 units in their lifetimes. Okay, so first, if you have houses, so normally if you have extra houses, most of them will rent it out. I think seldom people just leave it there for just empty vacant for so long. Okay, normally they'll rent it out. So the first thing you want to rent it out your houses, first you must do the market research. So where you can do the market research, eventually you can look for some of the sources whereby it's quite easy. You can just browse through some property websites. Okay, so I think you can go to one of the 2 websites maybe you are not familiar with will be the 𝗬𝗃𝗃𝗃, okay, whereby you can see, and also the pro team's website, 𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃properties.com. Okay, so you can go through this website actually to search on the latest renters markets. Okay, of course some others website will be like iProperty, Property Guru, all that. You also can do that as well. So for another source you can do the research will be on the realtors, or whereby you can seek advice for those realtors who are specialized in that area. Okay, why I use the word specialized is because those who are focused on the area, eventually they know deep and understand about this location better than those realtor who are focused in other locations. So this is why you must know actually who is the specialized in this area. Okay, you always can check or in the internet as well. Okay, another third one you can do for like the residents, or whereby I think most of them who bought the house and things like that, especially high rise, I say, they will have a group chat normally for them. So you can go in, join the group chats or the Facebook groups and things like that. So you can ask amongst those residents who are staying there, who already rent out and what is the price and things like that. So you can do a better clear idea, so that which you need to ask or understand current market renters levels and competition, so you know the competitors price, things and that, so you can have a very good benchmark for you to do this. Okay, what you need to ask is whether others units they provide furnitures, or whether the rent including some of the vendor, they might include the utilities. So you must see how's the market trend over your area and how much the deposit they collected. So I mean, example, maybe people only collected for 2 months, but you collected for 3 months. That would be maybe a challenge for you to rent it out faster compared to others. Okay, security deposit and also others charges that incur. Okay, how many actually you can see just estimated. Okay, is it a lot of available units in this area for rent? Because the more means the price will be more competitive. Okay, and type of tenant in this area, example, who will rent in your community, your units. Eventually, their age, is it students, or is it they are from local Malaysia, or they are foreigner? Okay, so this you have to know as well. Okay, so that you have a better rental idea, so that you know what is the best rental you can get. Of course, as a vendor, we always like to have a high rental. This is everyone, I think, wish, right? Okay, but the important part of it, I think is important is to take the average. I say is the margins that you acceptable, because I think the better important, the next I'm going to talk about, it will be the tenant profile. Okay, compared to renter and tenant profile, I think the most important will be the tenant profile. Okay, the second, you have to beautify the houses, because I could see a lot of units. Some are very, very okay. Bad unit is eventually for I would say local, because if foreigner normally expatriate, they prefer fully furnished units. So for local, I think they have most of the furniture they have, but eventually they also looking for those who partly furnished, especially kitchen cabinet and wardrobe. Okay, so if you have this, it's better. It's just like you want to rent an Airbnb. It's just same like you go holidays, you want to look for Airbnb units and things like that. You always look for the nice interior, right? Nice concept. You always can do that. Okay, eventually you not spend too much of money. You can estimate, you can use some idea. There's a lot of I think idea that you look for. Or eventually I like to go to IKEA and see how they do the deco for the internet and things like that. So you can get those ideas and apply to your units. Okay, you can always see how they do. Actually, the items that they use are not that expensive. Okay, so this is one of the things is can help you to rent it out, compare if you just leave it nothing inside your units. Okay, the third one we of course find a rate is the agents for helps. I believe now the markets there have some channel for those vendor actually can rent it out without go through the agents. But why I highly recommend using agents is because the agents who are focused on that area, they very understand what kind of tenant you're looking at, and also they know, especially after later I'll show you some of the services that others platform cannot provide it. Okay, as a real estate agents, they provide what advertisement. They not only go through the one channels, they go to a lot of channels. Okay, so that eventually another is their resources as well, or a group. Maybe their company have 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 agents. That is how they can do the call books and eventually can help you to rent it out faster. Okay. Second service they can provide that will be the viewing. Anytime if you hand over the keys and also access card to them, they're able to bring the tenant to view anytime, and you save your time to do every time you need to go there. Eventually, we're doing a working hours, or you need to come and open the door for the tenant for you viewing and things like this. Quite troublesome. Okay, this one. Okay, the third service you get free advice, because they are really focused on these locations or the condo, whereby they can give you a better advice. Hey, how you equip your houses that eventually a tenant would like to rent your units. Okay, that this is where I think others platform cannot provide that. This is why engage experienced agents who focus on that particular condo or area is very, very helpful. Okay. And also another will be tenants agreement, whereby it could be easy for you don't need to scratch your head how to draft a tenants agreement, or eventually you can ask the agent to help to write, because those who are experienced realtors, they already have a lot of examples, and also I think the draft agreement, whereby it's quite complete, I would say. So whereby they can quite protect both parties. I think this is whereby you need to do look for agents who are quite experienced on that particular locations. Okay, another will be after sales service. This is whereby I think for those who ran before, you will be facing a lot of, I think, after follow up, whereby when the tenant move in, there's a lot of things come out and things like that. And this is whereby I think real estate agent are able to do that. Okay, of course, I know some of the platform they're able to provide easy, what they say, maybe zero commission and things like that. But eventually, this after sales service, I think you need someone to follow up. Okay, you need someone to already go to the tenant, your unit, and also do some inspection and things like that. That is what real estate until now still I think most of the people still prefer. Okay. Okay, fourth will be tenant profile. This is what I mentioned before, whereby I think the renter compared to tenant profile, I rather choose tenant profile. The slightly different of renter, I don't mind. Okay, because I come across some tenant actually very bad. So eventually you rent higher, but you have a lot of things, mess out a lot of things. Eventually after that you need to clean the house, or you need to repair a lot of things. I think that is not really worth it. So for tenant profile, first of all, you must know how to screen suitable tenant and coordinate renters conditions. So whereby the tenant qualities, the quality of your tenant is very important. That I mentioned just now. They determine whether you can have a stable source of income. Okay, if you have I think good tenants, whereby they can always pay their rental on times, or whereby they're not delay. First thing is you are so busy, and you need to monitor their rental. After that, you need to keep remind them things, and that I think this is a thing, time cost in already occurred. It's not good. Until maybe 1 or 2 months they didn't pay anything, then you have troubles on that. You need to how to do. You need to file get a court order, and then to ask them to move out. There's a lot of hassle things. After that, I think this is very important on tenant quality. But in Malaysia, is a bit different. Is because Malaysia do not have guarantor on that. In other countries like Japan, if you want to rent a unit, whereby you need to show your financial status, and also you need to have a guarantor in order for you to rent the unit. Okay, but in Malaysia, so far the practice still haven't go to that extent yet, or still very linear on the tenant profile side, or not really go deeper and check their secrets and things like that. Not until that level. So of course you need to, of course it goes to the rental and say what is the rental and deposit need to pay, and also the commencing date and future maintenance, who are responsible on paying eventually the service in the water. Have to make very clear on that, to tell your tenant that is actually have to pay by the tenant, because they are the one who stay inside the unit. They're supposed to pay on the in our water. Okay, but most of the time, most of the tenant, they forgot about this one. So maybe you need to remind them things on this part, because I think a lot of times when they hand over back to the vendor, and the vendor find out, hey, there's a bill outstanding on that. Okay, this is how I think you need to take note on that. If not, you just include inside your rentals, whereby cover your service charges, whereby you pay by your own, so that you don't have outstanding on that. Okay, you already include in the rental. So the tenant only need to focus on only the electrics and also the water bill only. Okay. So number 5, after that you can sign the rental offers and collect the deposits. Okay, so it's better you go through a company. Whereby I'm saying that is because there's a stakeholder, whereby even actually 2 sides. Okay, for the tenant is also very safer, because the money is not direct to the owner. Sometimes do happen. Okay, some forecasts happen because the tenant think that is the vendor, they pass the cash. Then after that, this landlord actually is not the landlord, it's the tenant, and they get the multiple deposit from different party. So this happened before. So it's very important. I think it's better you go through a licensed company whereby to real estate company. So that actually they have a proper letter offer, okay, for rent. So that is inside. They written out all the T&C very clearly, and when you need to sign everything or forfeited the deposit, or if the owner cancel everything, they'll refund you and get the penalty on that. That is very good, okay, to protect both parties. Okay. So after when they sign the booking form, they pay the payments, then the tenancy agreement had to be signed off. Okay, what include? I think there's a lot of way because it's a contract, you can write a lot of different things inside. But I think this is a few things that you need to include inside the tenancy agreement. Okay, this is very important because eventually, if you miss out some of the important things, then when they come to default, then will be hardly to fight. Even I think the tenant, also the vendor side, both parties say, okay, this is why you need a tenancy agreement. Okay, so the draft tenancy agreement whereby you can ask who to do it. Okay, eventually you can ask the lawyer to do that. Okay, if you ask the lawyer to do that, if your tenancy contract is less than 3 years, okay, whereby the charges is something like that. Okay, the first 10,000 they will charge on about 25% of the renter. Okay, means if your renter is 10,000, you need to pay 2,500. Okay, to the lawyer as a legal fees. If your renter is 1,000, it will be about 250 ringgit on that. Okay, this is how the charges are. So if the monthly renter is already, example, is 100,000, example, so the first 10,000, okay, is paid 2,500, and another 90,000 you pay. 90,000 is about 2%, is 18,008. Okay, so you need to pay 18,000 to plus 2,500 is about 20,000 of the renter, okay, to the legal fees on the legal fee. Oh, its first 10,000 is 25%, the next 90,000 will be 20%. So with exceed 100,000 will be negotiable with the lawyer. Okay, so if tenancy agreement are more than 3 years, so this is the rent, the legal fees will be higher. For the first 10,000 will be 50%. That is the difference. So this is why some of the people, they like to put about 2 + 3 or fixed 2 years or option 3 years. So they will not exceed the 3 years fixed terms. Okay, that this is how they do it. Okay. So who paid the tenancy agreement? I think some aspect when it comes to Malaysia, they feel very why I need to pay the legal fees? I'm the one who rented here. Why I need to pay the fees on that? Because the landlord who earning the money, right? Okay, but in fact that in Malaysia, there's no law that say this either the tenant or the landlord is responsible. But in practice, okay, so that is who have to do it. The tenant. Okay, so it's already been here for so long, so it's not easy to convince the landlord to pay for this legal fees unless they have both lawyer. They have both lawyer, each have the legal advisor to represent them. That will be different. Okay, it's just like buying and sales. Okay, it's eventually most of the time, I would say 99%, okay, will be the tenant who bear the cost of that. Okay. So we come to the number 7. So after you get the tenancy agreement, then you need to collect the tenancy agreement for stamp duty and also the deposit from the tenants. Okay, whereby I think this is almost quite similar with when you're buying a house. So this is when you sign a tenancy agreement. Okay, you have to get standing for IHDN. So whereby it will have a legal effects. Okay, so the rental terms and also the stamp duty fees with charge is something looks like this table. So for the first years is about that's the 1 year is about one ringgit. 1 to 2 years 2 ringgit. And you can see over here there's an annual rent. If you first let's say your total rental 2,400, not a month, a year, you don't need to pay any stamp duty fees on that. Okay, they will give you a example of this. Okay, So there's an example, if you rent 3,000 with the term 1 year, so total is 3,000 times 12 minus 2,004, whereby this is the waiver on that. So 33,000 you divided by the 250, this is the factor that calculate your stamp duty. So you got 134 ringgit and 40 cents. So you only have 1 year, so it's plus 1. It's 2 years, 3 years, then will be different, okay? Therefore, the stamp duty on the rental contract is 134. But eventually, normally we'll give one more copy to the tenant or the landlord. Means normally it's one originals, one duplicate. So that is another 10 ringgit extra. So the total will 144.4. Okay. So eventually you can get this calculator. I think quite a numbers of tenancy agreement calculator. You can search online or Google, then you can get it. Oh, quite easy. If you easy to calculate like that, then you can use the calculator to calculate. Okay. So collect stamp duty and rental for the who will pay the stamp duty? Oh, another question says that the legal fees, we don't have any law to status who going to pay that. But for stamp duties, according to the Dutch Strategy of Stamp Duty Act 1949, the stamp duty on tenancy contract is generally payable by the tenant. So there will be so this is why I think the stamp duty, this part you have to tell the tenant you have to pay on that. So once the tenancy agreement process is complete, now you can collect the security deposit and the utility deposit from the tenant. Okay, normally I think in practice in the markets, normally we collect the I think the earner deposit together with the security deposit together, or we can normally when they hand over, before the handover the key, they will collect all the outstanding balance from the tenants. Okay, so the two charges normally is 2 months. Means security deposit normally 2 months. So for utility deposit normally is half month of the rentals. Okay, so now we come to another new things that I think many people might don't know. Okay, this is one you can recommend to your landlord if you are agents. If you are the landlord, then you can try to explore this one. It's a landlord insurance. Okay, so by the time I think 20 over years ago when I'm in UK, that time in UK actually they already have this kind of insurance. Malaysia don't have. Okay, after I think this couple of years I come across, I come see, it's quite new actually, the landlord insurance, whereby it can protect your property and also the rental income in your house. Okay, example, if the house damage and things like that, okay, you can use the insurance to claim. And also if the tenant move out without warning, means they rent 1 year, maybe the 7 months, 8 months, they rent out, you have insurance actually to claim the losses. Okay, but each insurance company had different package and fees. So you can go, actually you can just go online and type landlord insurance in Malaysia. There's some option for you to choose. Okay, on this one I'm not going too deep on this one, but this is actually one of the good platform. If your I think if your unit, your rental is high, I think it's worth to invest on this landlord insurance. Okay, because that it can cover some losses if anything happens. Okay. So number 9, so preparations before the tenant move in. I think this is one of the important part, whereby before the tenants move in, I think important that we need to clean the house. Why? When you clean that, means after that you also have inside the group, you can mention that when the tenants have moved out, they have to clean the house for you as well. So you can go and check it out. I think the electrical appliances and finishes, you can double check together with the tenant as well. Okay, so of course you should prepare a solve because case in tenant loss. Okay, so not hand over all the key to the tenant. Of course you need to back up one spare key, but need to keep it in the very secure place, whereby if anything happen and things like that, at least you have a key. Okay, but some of the unit I come across, some vendor not think they reluctant, they don't spend about 100 or 150 for the cleaner to do it. I think this is one of the investment. You clean the house, you do better for them, for the tenant also will do better for you, right? This is the thing, like vice versa. I think we always believe in karma. And nice to people will be nice to you as well. Okay, so please, I think this is very recommended. Clean it before the tenant move in. Okay, so number 10, of course, when you've done all that already, hand over things, hand over the keys and collect all the balance already, then you come to the you can start collection your renters. Okay, so on the day on handover, of course, you need to make sure that make sure your tenant pay off all the outstanding deposit and things like that. Because why? Okay, when they move in, then it's very hard. You have to chase them every time on the outstanding deals. This is not good. Because payment master, I think this is one of the way to see their behavior. If they are good in, I think, the payment master behavior, whereby they will settle everything before they move in. So if they keep reluctance and say a lot of excuses and things like that, I will be suggested that you might have facing problems in the future with this tenant, or maybe their financial issue and things like that, or their behavior is like this. So you judge by yourself. But for me, if this kind of tenant, I'll reject it. So it's better that you can clear off everything before they actually move in. Okay, once they move in, it's very hard to do already. If you anything, they're not payment on the rental or things like that, you need to chase them out. It's a very long process. You need to go to the court order and step by step. There's a lot of things to do. Okay, not really recommended. Okay, so this is why I think filter and find the right tenant is very important. This is why you need agents, whereby some agents are very I think long time focus on the area. They have some good tenant on hands. Okay, so this is why I always mention tenant, landlord and also real estate negotiators are very important part, especially landlord and also the realtor. If you want to rent out your unit faster, the cooperation between the tenant, the landlord and also the real estate realtor are important, so that they can market unit out faster and get the right tenant, because the communication no commission breakdown on this part. So because I do facing some of the vendor when I asking some of the details, they're very reluctant to reply. I don't know why. Okay, so in that case, what I'm going to do is normally will be second priority. So I always focus on the first priority, whereby the vendor are very well with me. So they, when every information and things like that, I can get it in detail. So I will not misdealing. Okay, mispresent. I think it's very important. I not mispresent to my tenant as well. So this is why I think as a landlord, if you are the landlord, so I will strongly suggest work closely with the agents, because if you work closely with the agents, you can get a better I think response from the tenant. Also happy to recommend a nice tenant to you as well. So they will prioritize your unit. So this is why I think tenant, landlord, and also the agents are very important when they work together in this part. Okay, today it's about 30 minutes. So thanks for everyone for coming today. So if you like my video channels, so please do follow my Facebook, Insta, okay, my LinkedIn, okay, 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗲, okay, you can go to 𝗧𝗶𝗺𝗲, and also our pro team channels, and also our pro team YouTubes. Okay, we have a lot of video that give you some knowledge in the properties. So thank you for coming, everyone. So if you have any questions, you can type in the comments, the chat book, the comment there, so that I can answer you now. Okay. Okay. Any question? Hi, Steve. Okay. Okay, if no questions, I think thanks for coming, everyone. So I do hope that this today's sharing actually can help those who are still cannot rent out unit. Okay, maybe you can get some tips from here and work closely with the agents. I think they can help you to rent out faster. Okay, thank you for coming, everyone. So stay tuned for next week, next Wednesday. That's Thursday night at 10 p.m. We have another topics on property. Okay, thank you for coming, everyone. Good night. Bye.